Hey guys, Adam here at DirectionTrader.com. Let's go over the daily results from the live trading room this morning. I had the software down yesterday, but we're back and running and able to make videos here and post them for you guys. Today was a rough day for me. I post win, lose, or draw no matter what, guys. Today I actually had a drawdown. Wasn't a big drawdown, but it was definitely a drawdown. So let's go ahead and get started and go over the trades, and then I'm going to show you a chart I use on another monitor that always keeps me aware of where the markets are, and possibly something you might want to set up for yourselves. I know I've been preaching to my members to have one set up for themselves. It's a comparison chart comparing all the markets we're interested in. I use it for correlation reasoning. So I have the dollar, which is probably the cornerstone of it, and how it's correlated with the rest of the market to see if there's any anomalies or anything out of whack that we should be aware of. But let's start out here. We started out real early this morning. We had no news coming out today, so we knew we were going to have a tough time getting some volatility in the market. It got a little bit slow later on, but we were able to take 4 trades today. We took a couple in the Russell, and then a couple actually in the Euro, guys, later on towards the end of the European session. So let's go ahead and show you what we did. Right here out of the gate, we had a nice quick sell-off. It matched this previous sell-off in pre-market. We had a nice quick sell-off here right as the market opened. As it pulled back, we were looking at some of the other indicators, some of the stuff I was telling you about the correlation factor and how the dollar was working. I had a signal short here. Now I got a little bit aggressive on this entry, a little bit aggressive. I ended up going short at 649, and I lost 12 ticks a contract, 2 contracts for minus 24 ticks. So minus 24 ticks on that current position, guys. So it was not a good way to start out my morning. I didn't panic. I waited, and then I got a retest confirmation here. Literally 2 to 3 minutes later, I went half size, only 1 contract this time, because on a retest, I always go half size. So if I'm trading 6 contracts normally, I would only go 3 on a retest. This situation, it was so early, we went 2 contracts first off, ended up losing 24 ticks, and then 1 contract for a minus 8. What we were looking to do is we saw this speed push down, and all the other markets were also pushing down. So we're like, all right, let's take this Russell short. We're ready to take the Russell short, and all of a sudden the Russell just got choppy on us. It decided to just get choppy on us, and all the other markets went ahead and they sold off. And I was like, guys, this has got to sell off. Sure enough, I got a video out there. It's called Being Right at the Wrong Time. And as you can see, that pretty well explains exactly what we got here. We were just a little bit early to the race, and it chopped a little bit, and then off to the races it came. So we were about 20 minutes early to this race, and then sure enough, we got that push down. So I took a little licking here in the Russell to start off the day. So it was a little bit of a rough start. So I had to be nice and patient the rest of the day and be very careful on what I was doing, because I have a rule out there that says, hey, if I have 2 stop outs in the same instrument in a row, I stop trading that instrument for the day, because one of 2 things happen. Either the market's not reacting well to my strategy, or I'm not following my strategy. So I know what my strategy can do. So one of 2 things happened. Needless to say, I did get 2 stop outs in a row. So my day was done in the Russell before 7 o'clock Pacific. It's part of it. And I also have a rule that says, hey, if you have 3 stop outs in a day, there's something going on. You need to sit on your hands, and you need to be patient and wait for some setup. So if I have 3 stop outs in a day, I'm done, guys, because there's something going on. I'm very, very conservative. So after them 2 stop outs, you can guarantee I was very, very conservative and very patient waiting for a setup. Now, in pre-market, we were talking about the Euro here, and we were talking about the 29.50 level. 29.50 level as being a benchmark or a turning point. Now, it was previous highs. I think it was 29.52 was actually previous day's highs. So basically 29.50 area we were talking about. So that comes in right in this area here. So what had happened was it bumped its head on here twice. It didn't get a lot of speed. It came pushing down, but yet it didn't sell off like the other markets. All the other comparison markets that I'm going to show you in a little bit, they were still pushing to the upside. So I did not want to take this short. I did not take this short here after it sold off. It bounced off the 50 level and it decided to sell off. I did not take this short because all the other markets were still pushing up, so I waited. Sure enough, we got a nice push up here and a pullback. I entered long here at 7:43 Pacific. Ended up taking 16 ticks to the long side, guys. So a nice pullback here. By using other correlated markets, we were able to wait and not take this position and wait and take 16 ticks long. And then as the market decided to head on up and then run out of steam, it rolled back over. And you guessed it. Guess what we looked for? We looked for it to sell off below that 29.52 level. And we took a short. And as you see, I went half size, being a little bit aggressive against the trend, and I got a -6, a reduced risk stop out. We actually had a little push in my direction, so I dragged my stop from my 10 all the way down to 6, and I was managing. I'm getting stopped out, and just like earlier, as we talked about in the Russell, guys, I use a comparison chart to understand correlation and how the other markets are. I'm going to pull it over here, but sure enough, just like the Russell, that whole concept of being right at the wrong time, as you see, it went ahead and sold off. Even though it chopped away, it ended up selling off as well. But we just had a little bit of a rough go, guys. I'm not going to change anything I do. My strategy, it's very, very conservative, but yet it gets me through every single day with low risk. I'm able to get into trades and get free trades the way I manage them, and it takes all my emotions out of it. Today, just unfortunate. Worst case scenario today, I lost $195. Of all that, all them stop outs, 3 stop outs, I was done. So all that, I'm only down 190. So I'm not too upset about that, guys, because definitely our winning days are far greater than that. So let me drag over this other little setup here, and I will show you what I'm talking about when I say comparison chart. As you can see here, I have this chart. Now this looks really scary. I know it does to a lot of people, but in my eyes, this is not too scary because I'm very used to it. This is simply my main markets that I trade, all put into a line chart. So I can use my crosshairs and I can tell, all right, now the dollar is pushing up as the S&P is pushing down. That's not right. As right now, the dollar and the S&P are fairly correlated, guys. So guess what? If the dollar is going to go ahead and stay strong, the dollar I just pinpointed this little area right here. As you can see, the S&P and the Russell sold off substantially right here as the dollar continued to hold strong. So what's that tell me? Do not trust this sell-off. Do not trust this sell-off in the markets because the dollar is holding strong. Sure enough, look what's happened. Just wait a little bit and you can start to see the S&P and the Russell work its way back up just like the dollar was. So that's what I'm talking about with using correlations and using like a comparison chart if your platform has it. If you have any questions and you want to set something up like this for you with Thinkorswim, I'm more than happy to help you. Just send me an email, adam@directiontrader.com. Or you can do a setup, something like this, guys. Let me fix this a little bit. I know I'm throwing a lot at you today, guys, but whenever you have a down day in the market, you really go back and reevaluate and learn from what you did. And really, I wasn't too far off. My strategy was right on. I just had very, very conservative stops and was stopped out before the market actually went in our direction. So this is simply the same market as what you see here. It's just put into a graph formation, and you can also use these as correlations. So if you want to watch real closely, hey, the dollar is selling off as the, say the crude or the S&P is rising, that's a big red flag. Now, if they're all correlated, take your trades and wait for them runners to go ahead and finalize. But if they're not correlated, you might want to tighten up your targets, tighten up your stops, and be a little bit more conservative in how you approach the markets. So the video is basically here to show you, I did have a little bit of a tough day. I was right in the direction, just at the wrong time. And also how to set up these correlation charts and use these to actually monitor and maybe find an anomaly. If you have one of them just out of whack, just wait, because all these markets like to revert back to their mean. So you always want to be aware of what's going on. So you got any questions, go ahead and write me, adam@directiontrader.com. If you'd like to join us in the live trading room and watch me do all this live, come by directiontrader.com and take a trial. So that's it for today, guys.